Some quick hits.
We gotta move quickly.
There's no time.
Move fast there, come on!
And here we go on a Thursday installment of America's favorite sports talk radio segment. It is time for Quick Hits right here on the Jake Asman Show. And Quick Hits this morning is brought to you by the upcoming pay-per-view Saturday night between Davis and Barrios. Two-division world champion Tank Davis will fight Mario Barrios as Tank Davis will go for history and try to get a win in a third weight class. Try and not just get a win, but get a title in a third weight class. You can order the fight, Showtime pay-per-view. Check it out Saturday night. And if you missed it earlier in the week, I had the promoter for Tank Davis on the program, Leonard Ellerby of Floyd Mayweather, Mayweather Promotions on the program. So check out that interview talking about this fight and Floyd and much more. If you missed it, it's up on the podcast page for the show. We start Quick Hits by talking about just a bizarre series of events that happened yesterday on Twitter. The Boston Celtics are going to hire now former Nets assistant coach Ime Udoka to be their next head coach. So he's apparently, a highly respected coach. He coached Tatum and Brown with Team USA as an assistant under Greg Popovich. Has a background with the Spurs. Has a background, of course, most recently with the Nets. The Nets players appear to really like Udoka. So he gets the Celtics job. Brad Stevens hires him. Cool. Well, Jay Williams of ESPN, he comes out on Twitter yesterday. And did you see this? He praised the Boston Celtics for hiring their first ever black coach. Now, the problem would be,
I don't see a problem. What do you mean problem?
The problem would be the Celtics have had 6 black coaches in their franchise's history, including Doc Rivers, who won a title in 2008 and was there for 9 years.
No, that was forgettable.
Also, you might have heard of a guy by the name of Bill Russell.
No, never heard of him.
How about Casey Jones?
No, he didn't do anything successful with the Celtics either.
But Jay Williams thought that Udoka was the first ever black coach that they hired. Well, here's the problem. So Jay Williams puts that out. And rather than just say, hey, I had a brain fart.
Oops.
Let me admit my mistake. People will get over it. It's not that big of a deal at the end of the day. Jay Williams then proceeds to go out on Twitter and tweet this. As it relates to the Boston Celtics tweet that came from my account a couple hours ago, I did not post that, and my passcode has now been changed. And when I first saw this, I go, you have to be bleeping kidding me. This guy is going to try and claim that someone, let me get this straight, hacked his Twitter account to tweet out an incorrect basketball take and then left and did nothing. And by the way, this was pointed out by Barstool Big Cat. When you look at the tweet about the Celtics hiring their, quote, first ever black coach, he uses the and symbol the same way Jay Williams always uses that in all his other tweets. So that's worth noting. I mean, it is unbelievable. I cannot believe he went down that route. I mean, what are we doing here? You tweeted it, Jay. Own it and move on. You should have just worn that and then you move forward. To try and act like you got hacked, that some buffoon is hacking your Twitter account to tweet out an incorrect basketball take about the Celtics hiring their first ever black coach and then did nothing else and just left. Man, I wish you well. It's amazing how people can never just admit when they're wrong. Just own it, dude, because you made this a far bigger story by pretending like you got hacked when we all know you didn't. A PFT commentator, Barstool, tweeted this. He goes, thank you, Jay. I will not stop until we find the real tweeter. Amazing.
No, you got to go. The hack defense. It's undefeated.
When will people ever own a mistake? It's just we've reached the point where it's like, nope, not true. Fake news. Or no, I got hacked. Yeah, someone really hacked you.
I'm waiting for
the take.
I want to wait for the moment where he's caught on videotape saying this, and they go, "Oh no, that wasn't me. That's a voiceover. That's a bad edit."
Someone tweeted, okay, I'll admit it. I was the one who hacked Jay Williams' Twitter account in order to post one factually incorrect tweet.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
That's that's maybe that is his thing. Maybe that guy's just coming clean. He's not afraid to admit when he did something wrong.
Admit you made a mistake and move on. But nope. Jay Williams goes out there and he played the old I got hacked.
I mean, it is kind of funny because you would just assume to just one random tweet. That's all he was hacked for.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's not surprising, but it's amazing. He would have been so much better just owning it and moving on. Nobody would care. But that's the problem. He'll just say, I got hacked. And no one believes him. I mean, if I'm his teammate at ESPN, you lose all credibility. First off, the incessant need to point out race and things never ceases to amaze me. Like, who cares if the Celtics hired a black or a white coach? Hire the best person for the job. Brad Stevens was a hell of a coach. He was white. Doc Rivers was a great coach for the Celtics. He was black. It doesn't matter. Hire the best people for the job, period. Like, they hired a black coach. It's a great hire. What if they hired a white coach that was really good? That'd be a problem?
Right.
Give me a break.
Listen, I mean, we know the Celtics history. We know that, they've had Casey Jones, who led them to championships in the 80s, made them almost a dynasty team in the 80s. Then they go and hire Rick Pitino. That didn't work out too hot. We know sometimes you swing and you hit home runs. Sometimes you swing and you miss drastically.
It's amazing. I mean, you just got to laugh. I saw this and I'm like, he's not doing this. He's not going down that route.
I'm with you on the whole, he hired a white guy. He hired a black guy. It doesn't matter anymore. Just hire the best person available.
That's how it should be.
And the one that meshes with your front office and the players.
The next time I have a bad take, a bad opinion on something, I am then going to tweet as it relates to the insert topic tweet that came from my account a couple hours ago. I did not post that, and my passcode has now been changed. Thank God he changed his passcode.
I would say, you know what? Ron hacked me.
As it relates to my Boston Celtics, it's amazing. What a world. Jay Williams. So he's in the news for the Kevin Durant thing a couple weeks ago, and now in the news for just not admitting you had a brain fart. You forgot that the Celtics have had multiple.
Which is easy. Listen, can you remember the last all the managers the Knicks have ran through?
Managers or coaches?
Coaches, I mean.
Yes, I could remember a lot of them.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty I would forget.
But there's a lot you forget.
Definitely.
That's just how it goes. I mean, I might sit there and go, yeah, you remember when Phil Jackson was coach?
Well, he never was.
I know he wasn't. But I mean, I admit I was wrong when I said Phil Jackson coached the Knicks.
Yes. You
look how easy that was.
You were able to look yourself in the mirror and admit when you're wrong. Jay Williams, well, he's not. He is not. Anyhow, let's talk some baseball, shall we? What a week for the Padres it's been.
Let's go back to talking about, Jay Williams messing up.
The Padres swept Ron Cover's Dodgers for the first time since 2013. It came down to the ninth inning and a defensive stop by Manny Machado.
Line and caught by Machado. Throw to second. Double play. It's the ball game. Manny Machado, who's done it all tonight, does it again. His double play ends this game, and the Padres sweep the Dodgers in a 3-game series. They've won 7 straight.
Machado catches the Albert Pujols line drive, turns it into a double play. Padres win 5-3. Ron, Padres, they're for real.
I think we had this conversation about a month ago. That's the only team I'm fearing. I don't care that the Giants have the best record in baseball. I really don't. They're going to flame out at some point, or they just won't be able to sustain, or the Dodgers and Padres will take care of them. I don't know what it is about the Padres right now. They've got us stumped.
They're playing well.
They are. I mean, it's a really good team. It's the only team the Dodgers a hurdle that they can't get over.
They will, I still think, get over that hurdle, but man, the Padres are showing you they're going to be around all year.
Yeah, they're definitely, got both teams are kind of hoping that the Giants start to fade away a little bit.
That division is, it's the best division in baseball. Has to be.
Well, best 3 teams in baseball.
It has to be. I mean, look at the National League West. You got the Giants at 48-26 with a 4-game lead over the Dodgers and a 4.5-game lead over the Padres. That's crazy. San Diego's red hot right now. They've won 7 in a row. So they're playing well. And this was Jace Tingler, their manager, on sweeping the Dodgers.
We believe we can beat anybody. We believe when we're playing our game, we'll match up with anyone. So I think it's, steps forward But like I said earlier, we're more concerned about playing our best brand of ball down the stretch, and we're more concerned about continuing to improve and in some areas and facets of the game, and that's what we're going to continue to work on. And like I said earlier, we're not going to put any caps or limitations on what we're able to do.
Well, that's good to know that they're not going to put any caps or limitations on what they're going to do. Padres are good, Ron. Fear them.
I don't want to, but
San Diego. And by the way, credit to the Padres fans. That staying up watching that game last night, that was a great atmosphere for a baseball game. Like San Diego fans are into it, which is good.
No, they are. They're a good fan base. They do love themselves some Padres, especially since it's the only professional team in San Diego now. It's a lot easier to get down there and root for them. But yeah, like I said, that's the one team that really does scare me.
Be afraid, Ron.
Yeah,
be very afraid.
Always finding ways. Not a fan.
So last night I'm watching the Islander game. We're going to overtime. The Yankees are down by a run going into the ninth inning. And within about a 15-minute stretch, I had one of the best 15 minutes in recent memory. Yankees, behind this from Luke Voigt, found a way to walk it off against the Royals.
1-2. Driven to left field. Going back, Dyson, still back, turning, looking. It's off the wall. Here comes Wade. He scores, and the Yankees win 6-5. They snatch a win out of the jaws of defeat and come back with 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth inning for an unlikely 6-5 victory.
Michael K on yes. So Voigt wins the game. It should have been a home run. It was just off the wall. He thought it was gone off the bat. Ends up being a walk-off single. Gary Sanchez homered in the ninth to tie the game. He's been red hot. He's playing himself into an all-star game, which is crazy to think given how bad he's been the last really season and a half. Last year, awful. The begin this year was bad, but red hot. So the Yankees win. They come from behind to beat the Royals. I think they had 11 walks or 12 walks in the game, and they only had 2 runs up into the 8th inning. I mean, it was ridiculous. But the Yankees do win. And then within 15 minutes of the Yankees winning in a walk-off, Anthony Beauvillier scores the game-winning goal for the Islanders. So, Ron, it was a phenomenal 15-minute of life for Jake Asman.
And one meant more than the other, right?
Yes. I mean, I was obviously way happier with the
Yankees.
Islander win than
No, Islanders,
Yankees.
okay.
But I'm glad the Yankees won because you can't lose 2 straight to a Royals team that's just not very good. They play again today. Win today, win the series, keep building on what you did against Toronto and Oakland last week, and you got Boston this weekend. So
and I'd feel the same way like you do. I mean, if we were playing the Diamondbacks over the Rockies and we lost, if that was the sweep, I would think there's something drastically wrong with the Dodgers. Right now, I don't think there's anything wrong with the Dodgers. They're just playing against a better team.
Yes, they are
at the moment.
But they'll be
yeah,
okay.
Good on the Yankees for pulling that one out.
Yeah, they got it done. They got it done. I mean, they can't get the big hit, but they finally got it last night from Luke Voigt. Sanchez tied the game. That was huge. Odor had a big home run to tie the game at 2. It's really simple. Michael K said it best when he came on with us last week. When the Yankees hit home runs, they usually win. When they don't hit home runs, they don't. They're just not the type of offense that's going to string a bunch of hits together. It is, feast or famine for them. And, last night, they feasted, beating the Royals 6-5. That wraps it up for Quick Hits right here on a Thursday edition of the Jake Asman Show. We'll come right back, wrap up our show for a Thursday. Jake Asman with you here at Sports Bet Radio.